Hi. So I've been doom scrolling through social media and I've been seeing a lot of videos circulate of um, individuals expressing how they feel like their partner isn't showing up for them. This is neglect. They feel like their partner isn't supporting them, isn't listening to them, like they used to, like in the beginning of the relationship. Uh, they express feelings like they treat others better than me. They don't show up for me the way they do their friends. They treat me like they don't like me. And I'm here to just share a little bit that if this resonates with you, you might be feeling a little bit like, why am I feeling like this? Am I crazy? Am I a hater? Am I thinking too much? No, you're not. You are feeling like this because it's your intuition. I wrote this down so I can say the message without getting distracted. You are feeling like this because you haven't found the words for what your body and spirit already know. Your mind wants to. Hold on. I can't read my handwriting. I'm left handed. And I never like practice. See, this is what I mean. Let me start over. Sorry. You are feeling this way because you haven't found words for what your body and spirit already know. Your mind wants convincing because your hope, the hope that you are wrong, is strong. And honestly, if you are asking yourself, if he doesn't like me and if he doesn't want to treat me better, why is he with me? He's not. You're with him. You're hanging on. Your hope is strong. And you're not wrong. That's just the way you love. And you have every right to love that way. But I wanted to share with you that what's going on here is related to emotional enmeshment. What this means is that individual has not learned how to separate themselves from the caretaker who consumed their capacity to give back to you emotionally, right? So I don't really like to say this because it sounds like it's mean language, but you see a lot of men who are very loyal to their mothers, and that can become toxic. And so these toxic relationships, it's emotional enmeshment. So the son is the emotional husband of the mother because she groomed him that way. She raised him that way because she didn't have somebody in her life to care for her emotions. So she birthed her child and she accidentally found love in that way and never taught that child how to feel their own feelings because she kept taking, because only her feelings matter, and it goes to my short of generational trauma if you haven't seen that yet. That ties to generational trauma where this just keeps getting passed on, emotional enmeshment. And emotional enmeshment doesn't stop at just the mother and son. It can happen within a family unit as well. So it could be that the entire family could be protecting a very toxic dynamic. Like we don't talk about that kind of stuff, right? And someone who is within the family who does want to talk about it is usually seen as the, I guess, the problem, because they're not willing to sweep what they're seeing underneath the rug. They want to dissect it just to understand it. And so usually that is considered the black sheep and the problem child, right? So emotional enmeshment happens in a family, and it can happen in um, between mother and son. It can also happen between siblings, sisters and brothers. Where if you are an outsider and you marry, if you're a daughter-in-law, right, and you marry into the family, the sisters could treat you poorly because, in a sense, they are competing with you for their brother's attention because their brother is probably the emotional regulator of the family and or one of the emotional regulators of the unit. And so you feel like a threat if you don't understand what's going on because you didn't grow up that way, or you broke out of the system and you see it and you're pointing it out, and you're still a problem because you're pointing it out because it's not healthy. And so, anyway, yeah, mm, emotional enmeshment. They treat others better than you because they haven't learned how to separate themselves from you. So, because they don't feel what you're feeling, they don't choose to understand it because you or me, I is you. It's that whole dynamic, the mother son enmeshment. And so they kind of just moved on from their mother to you. And so you're the new mom where they latched on to you, and now you're one. And so they can't separate in their mind that they're harming you because you're one and they're not hurt. So you shouldn't be hurt. It's not a big deal. So why? So that's what's happening. Um, they don't show up for me the way they do their friends. They don't show up for you because they don't even show up for themselves. So they treat you the way they treat themselves. They show up for their friends not because their friends are more important. They show up for their friends because their friends validate them. And you only validate them emotionally when they need you to regulate them. And so they use you as their punching bag, right? So when they're mad about something, they come and make an argument about it, out of it, and then you guys argue and you're confused because you're like, where the hell did this come from? And so that's usually your role. The child has a tantrum. You are the mother. You calm the child. The child is happy again, and the child goes back into the world to get validation and happiness from other people. And so this is a whole thing of preserving their image, right? Again, if you haven't seen my short on generational trauma, it's related to preserving the image. I'm going to extend that because I sort of cut it off, or it went too long. It was my first one, so I'll continue my short on generational trauma. But yeah, they treat me like they don't like me. I'm going to be honest, they don't. Not because it's something you did. They don't like you because they don't like themselves, because they don't know who they are. They keep borrowing characteristics from people. Oops. I accidentally paused the video. I have this little mouse thing that helps me control. This is really cool. Got it from Amazon. Um, but what was I saying? They treat me like they don't like me. They don't like themselves. And so of course they don't know how to like you. They don't really like people. They like performing and they like people to like them. So that's the truth. It's not anything you did. They like to be liked, so they don't care to like. I hope that makes sense. Uh, why am I feeling this way? You are feeling this way. I answered that already, but you're also feeling this way because you grew past the stage that they're at right now. This emotional enmeshment is their emotional growth stunted when they were a kid. So they're stuck. And if they don't see it as a problem, they're going to stay there until they're old and alone. But yeah, this is what I've been seeing, and I wanted to dig deeper because everyone's been circulating the feeling and resonating with what's going on, and I wanted to just kind of break down the root so you can understand where it's coming from. Hopefully this resonates and gives you words to how you're feeling, to understand where this is all coming from. And ultimately it's disrespect for what you want. And just really think about it. If you won't take disrespect publicly, don't take it privately. Love yourself, and your love will boomerang back to you the way you put it out. Okay? Again, I hope this resonates. Thank you so much. Have a good night.